Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Shrunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastu Hyavadrani Vidunoti Surutsatam Nashta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistik. Reading from Canto 3, Chapter 36, 18 and 19. Evam Kutumba Bharani Vyapratatma Jitendriyaha Mriyate Rudatam Swanam Uruvedanayastadhi. Synonyms. Evam, thus, Kutumba Bharani, in maintaining a family, Vyaprata, engrossed, Atma, his mind, Ajita, uncontrolled, Indriya, his senses, Mriyate, he dies, Rudatham, while crying, Swanam, his relatives, Uru, great, Vadanaya, with pain, Astha, bereft of the consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Thus, the man who engaged in uncontrolled senses in maintaining a family dies in great grief, seeing his relatives crying. He dies most pathetically, in great pain and without consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that at the time of death, one will be absorbed in the thoughts which he cultivated during his lifetime. A person who had no other idea than to properly maintain his family members must have family affairs in his last thoughts. That is the natural sequence of a common man. The common man does not know the destiny of his life. He is simply busy in his flash of life, maintaining his family. At the last stage, no one is satisfied with how he has improved the family economic condition. Everyone thinks that he could not provide sufficiently. Because of his deep family affection, he forgets his main duty of controlling the senses and improving the spiritual consciousness. Sometimes a dying man entrusts the family affairs to either his son or some relative, saying, "I am going, please look after the family." He does not know where he is going. But even at the time of death, he is anxious about how his family will be maintained. Sometimes it is seen that a dying man requests a physician to increase his life at least for a few years so that the family maintenance plan which he has begun can be completed. These are all material diseases of the conditioned soul. He completely forgets his real engagement to become Krishna conscious and is always serious about planning to maintain his family, although he changes families one after another. Text 19. Yamadutau tada praptau bhimau sarvasekshano sadrishtva trastardayah shakran vimunchati. Synonyms. Yamaduta, two messengers of Yamaduta. Tada, at that time. Prapta, arrived. Bhimau, terrible. Sarabasa, full of wrath. Ikshana, their eyes. Sa, he. Drishta, seeing. Drashta, frightened. Hridayaha, his heart. Stool, mutram, urine. Vimunchati, passes. At death, he sees the messengers of Lord of death, come before him, their eyes full of wrath. And in great fear, he passes stool and urine. Purport. There are two kinds of transmigration of a living entity after passing away from the present body. One kind of transmigration is to go to the controller of sinful activities, who is known as Yamaraj, and other is to go into higher planets up to Vaikuntha. Here, Lord Kapila describes how Persons engaged in the activities of sense gratification to maintain a family are treated by the messengers of Yamaraja, called Yamadutas. At the time of death, the Yamadutas become the custodians of those persons who strongly gratified their senses. They take charge of the dying man and take him to the planet where Yamaraja resides. The conditions are described in the following verses. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I humbly seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Please forgive me for any misinterpretation. So, Lord Kapila is talking about the death. Death is most fearful condition for anybody. Now, when you analyze why one is in a fearful condition, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said why the fear arises. It's in that verse it says, Bhayam dithiya biniveshatha syad ishadapetasya viparyayo asmriti thanmayo ata buddhavajetam bhakti ekayesham gurudeva. So, the fear arises when one misidentifies himself as this temporary body. That is not his real position. His position is he is eternal and he is a part and parcel of Krishna, spirit soul. And the spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces by weapons. In the Bhagavad Gita it says, Nainam chindanti shastrani. It cannot be cut into, the soul cannot be cut into pieces by weapon. Nainam dahati pavaka, cannot be burned to ash. That is my real position. But I misidentify myself as this temporary body, which is bound to perish. Antavanta imedeha. So that's why one is in a miserable condition. Now, why one misidentifies the self as the body is because he is absorbed in the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. This external illusion, energy, Maya, is completely absorbed. And that makes him to forget Krishna. And forget he is eternal servant of Krishna. He is eternal. Krishna is eternal. His service is eternal. He forgets. And he is in the bodily consciousness of life. So, to come to his real position, that is eternal servant, one must engage in bhakti, devotional service. In the verses, Buddha abhajatam, one intelligent person, he engages in bhakti, chanting the holy name, remembering, hearing about the glories of Lord and deity service. In this way, when one engages in bhakti, he realizes his real position. And it is said in Bhagavatam that if one chants the holy name unconsciously, apannah samshrutim goram yannama vivasho granam tata sadhya vimuccheta yad viveti swayambhayam. If one chants the holy name unconsciously, not knowing what is the potency of the holy name, what are the glories of the holy name, if one chants the holy name unconsciously, then the death personified cannot touch him. He is on the path of liberation. We know by the examples of Ajamila. Ajamila, on his dying moment, he saw the fearful Yamadutas, and he was frightened. And he loudly called out for his youngest son, Narayan. And immediately Vishnudutas came and rescued him from the hands of Yamadut. And he was able to hear the conversations between the Yamadutas and the Vishnudutas. And Yamadutas were arguing that we are the rightful owners. He has committed so many sins. But the Vishnudutas say he has chanted the holy name. Don't touch the person who has chanted the holy name on his dying moment. So Ajamila was given a second chance, and he was able to go back home, back to God by chanting Shuddhanam. So there are three stages of the holy name: Shuddhanam, Namabhas, and Nama Aparad. So one should avoid Nama Aparad at any cost, offenses to the holy name, like you're chanting the holy name, but at the same time blasphemy, persons who are devoted their life for chanting the holy name or to spread Krishna consciousness, or blasphemy the Vedic literatures, Vedic scriptures, or disobey the spiritual master, or commit sinful activity on the strength of the holy name, thinking that holy name will counteract the sinful activities. Such aparadas one must avoid. One chants the holy name in the Nama Aparada stage, he will not be delivered. He will come back to this world again and again. He suffers. It's like Nama Aparada is like a darkness. There is no sunlight. There is no sun. Then the next stage is Nama Abhas. Nama Abhas is like a cloudy. The sun or the sky is covered with cloud. It is not dark. Still, sunlight still comes through. He may not see the sun, but the sunlight still there. So, like the Ajamila, he chanted in Nama Bhas. He was not calling out Lord Narayana. He was calling out his son Narayana. But he did not commit any offense to the holy name. So therefore, he was rescued. Then Shuddhanam. Shuddhanam is free from all sin, all offenses, and is chanting fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So in that state, one realizes the sweetness of the holy name. He rejoices in the transcendental bliss, and he is not conscious of the external world. So in this way, when one chants the holy name in Shuddhanam, then he comes to the stage of Krishna Prem, love of God. In Namabhas, one may be delivered, but he does not attain Krishna Prem. But in Shuddhanam, one comes to the stage of Krishna Prem. No, he is not disturbed by the material conditions, the external miseries, old age, disease, death, all these miseries one goes through. A person who is chanting in the Shuddhanam, attain Krishna Prem, he is not disturbed by the external worldly conditions. So, whether one is a devotee or one is an atheist, everyone must go through the death. That is not avoidable. But for one who is an atheist, for him, death is very fearful. Just like today's verse, it is said that a man engaged in uncontrolled senses in maintaining a family dies in a great grief, seeing his relatives crying. He dies most pathetically, in great pain, without consciousness. And in 19 text says, he sees the messengers of the Lord of death come before him, their eyes full of wrath, and in great fear he passes stool and urine. So an atheist dies like. Uh, but a devotee is not afraid. Just like a child, when he is with the mother, uh, the child is free of anxiety because the child knows mother will protect him. But when the child is separated from mother, child is full of anxiety and it cries out in a fearful condition. So one must take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, Radha Krishna, Shishi Radha Krishna. One must take shelter. Lord's lotus feet are called Abhaya Charanaram. Abhaya means no fear. So one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, then he is fearless. So just like uh, an atheist, for atheist, the last moment is like fearful is compared to a cat catching a mouse. A mouse at the mouth of a cat is in a fearful condition, frightened. For a devotee, it's like a kitten at in the mouth of a cat. He's not fearful. Both are in the mouth of a cat, but one is frightened, other one is completely free from fear. So an intelligent person, as he said in the verse, Buddha abhaje tham, an intelligent person realizes this and endeavors